morning everyone. Today my topic is about capacitor has resistor. I am G Naresh from ECB section, second year, third sem. This is the PPT of EDC subject. Let's get into the topic. Introduction. About 140 years ago, Maxwell explained how a capacitor and a switch act efficiently as a resistor. Now, let us know the basic idea of how to implement resistor using capacitor and a switch, and how to employ them in the design of simple integrator. Figure 2a shows a resistor R that is connected to voltage source V1 and V2 on its two terminals. Given Ohm's law, there will be continuous time current I that flows through the resistor, so that here in the figure A we have two voltage sources V1 and V2 with a resistor, so that current I flows equals to the difference in resistor by R, V1 minus V2 by R. Let it be the equation number 1. Figure 2b shows a capacitor C with one terminal grounded and other one connected either to voltage source V1 and the left is voltage source V2. On the right via two switches S1 and S2 respectively. The assumption is that these two switches are turned off and on in a periodically but in non-overlapping fashion. So that in the figure 2b, here in the B, we have two switches and capacitor grounded between V1 and V2 in non-overlapping fashion, so that this is illustrated in the figure C, where S1 is on and S2 is off and vice versa. Also note that we have noticed by T the period of switching. If S1 is off and S2 is on, and in the D section here S1 is on and S2 switch is off. Let us know as an example, consider the case where V1 is greater than V2. Let us consider V1 is greater than V2 in the figure. In the first half of period of capacitor is connected to V1, acquiring the charge Q1 is equals to CV1. In the first half, Q1 is equals to CV1. Similarly, in the second half, Q2 is equals to CV2. In the next cycle, as the capacitor is connected to V1 again, the capacitor will replenish its charge back to the C1 level, drawing as charge of C of V1 minus V2 from the voltage source V1 and transfer its charge to V2. Accordingly, the average rate of charge transfer or average current from V1 to V2 can be found, so that I average equals to C of V1 minus V2 by time t, which can be written as I equals to V1 minus V2 by T by C. So that one immediately notice the similarity of equation 1 with and may conclude that switched capacitor circuit has shown in the figure 2b is effectively acting like a resistor with the following equivalent resistance R equivalent equals to T by C. So by comparing equation 4, that is I is equals to V1 minus V2 by T by C, and equation number 1 I is equals to V1 minus V2 by R, the R equals to, here we can see R equals to T by C, so that R equivalent is equals to T by C. So the capacitor with grounded is acting, the switched capacitor with grounded acting like a resistor. We assume the input V1 and V2 are DC voltages. The circuit behaves similarly if V1 and V2 are time varying as well as long as they change much slower than the rate of switching. A switched capacitor circuit is equivalent to a resistor only in the sense that their average current are the same, but not their instantaneous current. For example, for a fixed V1 and V2, the average current leaving voltage source V1 is DC, whereas the corresponding instantaneous current is switched capacitor is a sequence of delta function. Means here S1, the figure 3 states that the S1 and S2 amount of charge on the capacitor and the current from V1 to capacitor and the capacitor V2I2 has a function of time. So that S1 is open and S2 is closed, we have charge of CV2. When S1 is closed and S2 is open, then we have charge of CV1. The time is defined as where t is equals to I11 as an impulse function, and when at the time t by 2 seconds, the time is I2. At time 3 into t by 2, the current is I2. It is defined as an impulse function. Here, as at the Maxwell's time, the switches are there. After, we can also implement this circuit by the transistors. So the figure 4 shows shows a straightforward implementation of switched capacitor circuit implementing a resistor using NMOS transistor, and figure B shows a parametric intensive switched capacitor circuit implementing a resistor. Let us now employ our newly built resistor in the design of an integrator. So here we have a new resistor, so we design integrated with this resistor. Figure 5a shows the integrator design that most of our readers are familiar with. The design uses a op-amp with a capacitor in the feedback loop, assuming a virtual ground at the common node of capacitor and the resistor. The current through the resistor Vin of t by R will be integrated by the capacitor to provide a voltage at the output. In other words, we can written as Vout. So Vout is equals to minus of R into Cf integration of 0 to t Vin of t dt. So here we have a op-amp with which work has an integrator. In the inverting input of op-amp, we have resistor connected to Vin, and for non-inverting input it is connected to ground, and the feedback path is Cf. So in the figure B, we can see that op-amp the same A circuit is implemented in the B circuit, with where the resistor, in the place of resistor, we connecting the previous circuit, that is capacitor has resistor circuit with the transistors, so that we know that the integrator output, that is op-amp as integrator output, is integration of Vin. Hence it is connected to inverting input of op-amp, so that we can get in negative sign, so that Vout of t is equals to minus of 1 by R by Cf into integration 0 to t Vin of t into dt. Let it be the equation number 5. In the switched capacitor version of an integrator shown in the figure 5.5b, we simply replace the resistor with the parametric insensitive switched capacitor equivalent. Accordingly, we can return as new expression for Vout of t, so that Vout of t is equals to 1 by t C by Cf into 0 to t Vin of t into dt. So that here we from the equation 5 we are replacing R. Hence we know that R equivalent is equals to C T by C, so that we R equivalent equals to T by C. We are replacing R with the T by C, so that T comes to the numerator, C comes to the numerator, so that the output equation can be written as V out of T is equals to minus 1 by T C by Cf into integration 0 to T V in of T into dt. Conclusion. In the summary, we will view a resistor as an element that transfers charge from one terminal to another at the constant rate. We can implement it using a capacitor and two switches as shown in the figure 2, where we transfer an average current C of V1 minus V2 as period, efficiently mimicking the behavior of a resistor whose resistance is T by C. This implementation forms the basics of class of circuit known as switched capacitor circuit. Thank you.